How many of you have seen the Abundance Amplifier website? How many of you like the Abundance Amplifier website? Make some noise. Come on, make some noise for the website. Was that not a great site? Yes. So, Dima and Carla, who you have seen them perform a few times now, they are the creatives behind that site. And Dima runs Influex, which is one of the top personal brand companies in the world, and they specialize in personal brand websites, and they work with Joe Polish and JJ Virgin, and so all sorts of incredible, and Jess Lenavelle as well, Jennifer Hootie as well, and they do the just best sites that I've ever seen, but the best sites that also convert. So they have the perfect integration of the artistry, but also in direct response marketing. So your website isn't just a nice business card, but it actually gets results. How many of you want your website to actually get results? I know I definitely do. That's why when I was in the vision of Abundance Amplifier, I'm like, who the fuck do I go to create a site for the first music festival mastermind? And it was so clear. It was definitely Dima. And then Carla is now the creative director as well. So I am super excited for them to come and share on really how they're creating, how they created mine and what they do in the world. Without further ado, please welcome Dima and Carla.
Raise our standards higher.
Play that anthem higher. Abundance Amplifier.
We're here to stand inspired. Raise our brands up higher. Play that anthem higher. Abundance Amplifier. So we're going to invite anybody who would like to actually come get close, and actually everybody. If you're shy, there's some cards back there and some colors. For those of you more bold, come join us. There are some cosmic cards all up here and some colors that we've gifted to you. So come, just come walking up. You could come right back to your chair if you'd like, and just grab one card or two. Anything that resonates for you most. They're faced up.
So as you check out these cards, just look for colors, look for a feeling of what pops out to you without even reading the words necessarily. Just pick one that really resonates for you. And then you're welcome to stay up here in the front and get comfy with us. We just want to have a little cozy space with you guys as we go deep into your signature soul brand. And so welcome, everyone. Grab a pen, a color that resonates, as you guys today get to become the artists alongside us.
You guys heard of the saying, to not be a sage on the stage, but a guide on the side? Who's heard that? To be I stole them from the back. That's why I said forgiveness over permission. So thank you, Yannick, for contributing the cosmic cards. Who's got a cosmic card and a marker or a pen? Okay, who does not yet have one? Come up, grab what resonates for you.
Just grab a card that resonates and a color pen that resonates.
So we're here to talk about not only websites, but really what's beneath a website and all of your expression in the world, which is your brand, which is a signature soul brand. So right before we dive into that, we want to introduce ourselves based on our brand, why we're here. So we are here, we believe we've been put on this planet and are building this company to build a beautifully expressed world, a beautifully expressed world, a world where you can be you fully expressed. And in the modern world, also beautifully expressed World Wide Web. And so how we do that, our brand promise is what we do. So we build iconic brands and world-class websites, that one of which brought many of you here, that express your essence and amplify your authority, get to the core of who you are, and also make you that go-to authority in the marketplace. And the name Influex was actually a word we invented because all words are words we invented. We get to be artists in our language. And Influex stands for influence plus expression, because we believe that your greatest influence and your greatest impact and income come through your fullest expression. So with that, we'd love to start by sharing what a brand is in contrast to what many people think a brand or branding is.
Right. So some people might think a brand is simply logos, right, with colors and fonts, and that's a pretty simple explanation of what a brand is, but what some people don't understand is that there's actually a differentiation between what a brand is and what branding is. Now, your brand is the expression of who you are. It's the expression of what you stand for. It's the expression of your purpose. It's the expression of your values, your mission. And then your branding is actually the physical representation of the essence of who you are. Does that make sense? There's a difference between who you are and how do we actually capture who you are as the physical representation, whether someone sees you for the first time on the internet or whether someone sees you for the first time standing on a stage or sitting on a stage. Wherever anyone is seeing you, they're seeing your branding. And what we want to do is we actually want to capture the essence of who you are and bring that into your branding, right? And when it comes to a signature soul brand, this really gets to permeate throughout the outer edges of everything that you touch. I truly believe that your brand is to your business as your heart is to your body. Now, hear me out here. Your heart is this vital organ, and it pumps vital blood, which gives all the nutrients and all of the energy and everything that you need to survive. It pumps it out to all of your organs. It pumps it out to every area of the body in order for your energy distribution to be fully given, your life force to be fully given to the world. Now, a signature soul brand, when we really identify who you are, the core essence of who you are, that means that your brand gets to be just like that heartbeat, that energy. It gets to pump that vital energy out into your team. It gets to pump that vital energy out into the audience and the ground, what I like to call the constellation of your business, right? So you actually, when you create a signature soul brand, not just a brand based on the colors that you like and the fonts that you like and the logos that you like, when you actually create a brand based on who you are at your essence, you're giving so much of that life force, that outer life force to the grand scope of the world. And so this is why I believe that through a brand, we actually bring the heart into business. Because you guys get to do something that is so spectacular when you find your true essence brand, is that you guys get to bring artistry into your industry. And artistry is something that it's subjective, it's beautiful, it feels, it has a feeling to it, right? Like when you saw the Abundance Amplifier website, you had a feeling, right? There was a feeling about it. Maybe even without even reading the words necessarily at first. There was a particular something that you felt that actually might have been a spark for why it is that you're sitting here, right now. And so this means that this particular brand that you get to create that is based on the essence of who you are, and when I say the essence of who you are, you might be asking, what does that even mean? I'm not talking about what you do. In fact, I care about what you do, but what I care more about is the soul of who you are. And as the brand director with Influex and with developing so many different brands and serving in the development of brands, I have gotten to witness how a brand can actually be this heartbeat of your business.
Jenna said yesterday, or on Love and Leadership Day, you were born to stand out. So your brand gets to be the thing that has you stand out. We truly believe your brand is your stand. So as you extract your essence and then get to express your essence through your brand, it permeates its way into every area of your business. So your team, the culture that you curate, your style, your messaging, creating memorable messaging. So we're going to go through a number of examples. And I love what, Carla, what you say, notice what you notice. in the examples that we're going to go through, because they may inspire something in you. Notice what color you picked to journal with. Notice what card you picked, what color's on it, or what message it has. And we're going to have an experience towards the end that guides you deeper into your inner world. So notice what you notice in these examples that we'll go through and what they bring alive within you. Because in a world where the buzzword right now, and the future in so many ways, today is about the future of AI, artificial. Your brand gets to be the one thing that, while AI can certainly help you bring your brand to the world, gets to be the one thing that AI actually isn't going to help you clarify and determine about yourself or your company. But your heart will. And Carla actually has a course that she created years ago, before AI was a buzzword, called
Heart Official Intelligence. Heart Official Intelligence. And I just want to expand on that just for a quick moment, is that brand, as Dima is saying, this is the one thing that a computer really wouldn't be able to tell about you, right? An AI system wouldn't actually be able to tell you at the core and center of who you are, because this is actually us tapping into what I said is the artistry, which actually taps into the right side of the brain, right? And that right side of the brain is the creative side of the brain. It's the brain that actually gets to trust. So when Dima says, notice what you notice, this is actually where your brand comes from. It's the noticing of what does compel you, the style that you like, the colors that you wear, right? And so I'll pass it back to you, but I wanted to just invite each and every one of us here today that although it's amazing with conversions of your website, and that's actually a big part of what we do with Influex, is help you to convert, the conversion really comes from this artistry. And the conversion really comes from us being able to tell the story of creating the character. And when I'm saying the character, what I mean by that is the walking, living, breathing, fullest expression of who you are. Would that feel good? To really figure out, to decipher, to design, to refine, to define the fullest expression and essence of who you are. Would that feel good? Give me a yes. All right. All right.
So let's go into a couple of examples of brands that we've launched recently. We've worked with over 200 industry icons in all sorts of industries and help them fully express themselves online and offline. And so we'd love to go to a recent one that Carla and I had worked on together and start, before we show his full brand, start with the first piece of something that we'll walk through here as an example, and know that you can start doing for yourself, even again by noticing what you notice, as the guidance to creating this for yourself.
So with all of our clients with Influex, what we first and foremost want to start to do by deciphering their and your inner world and your inner brand is we want to create what we call your signature style, right? And your signature style is of course the collection of your colors, your type form, or your typography, your fonts, all of that. But what we want to do first and foremost is we want to get you out of that left side of your brain, and we want to get you into that more creative side of you. And so what we do is that we start to, well, first and foremost, it's based off this idea, right, that in human consciousness there are symbols that have been passed down through the generations that actually have meaning. So let's say, for example, if I say the word lion to you guys and you get an image of a lion in your mind, you might also think of the words like courageousness or courage, right? Or the cowardly lion. There's these symbols that human consciousness that we pass through our conscious states of being. We pass these through the lines and the lineages. Everything is basically based off of story. So when I'm pinpointing and being the reflection point and the mirror for you guys' brand, what I'm going to start to understand about you is what are the symbols that show up in your life? What is it that you love? What is it that drives you? What is it that motivates you? And from that, we start to create this imagery, right? So I can start to understand your imagery. And what you're looking at right here on stage, this is called your mood board, right? And some people call it mood board. We call it a vision board. Because with our clients, what we want to do is we want to honor your past, we want to honor your present, and we want to honor your future. And that means we're honoring their story, we're honoring what's right here, right now, your essence, what's alive within you, and then finally, we're also honoring the future of who you are becoming, because we can always future project into the highest expression of who we desire to be as a brand, right? And so this gets to become your vision board because you get to start to bring all of yourself into it through the imagery and through the artistry. And so this is when we start to design based on these different images. Like you can see here, Balaj, one of our clients that we worked with, and that we're working with currently, that there's an image of an eagle, right? Like, shout it out. What does an eagle actually represent to you guys? Freedom, that's exactly right. And guess what one of Balaj's #1 value words was? Hey, yeah, exactly. And so we start to find imagery, that's what I mean by symbology, symbols, imagery that actually captures the feeling. And remember, brand is all about the feeling. So we're trying to find this imagery that captures the feeling. So I want you guys to think about that just for a moment. Like, what are your key words that actually capture the feeling of how you desire for people to feel in your presence? Just think about that for a moment.
And then let's take a look at how this then expresses itself in a website. So there's more to a signature style. We'll walk through a couple of other examples. But when we look at Balaj's then homepage on his websites, you're worthy of your dream life. And we'll talk in a little bit about headlines from the heart, because brand also allows you to write headlines from the heart. It's whatever your stand is in the world. It's not about writing the highest converting headline when it comes to a brand. It's about writing the headline that is your message to the world. It's your message to a part of you, and from that part of you to whoever it is that you wish to serve as what's creating that possibility. Or we'll talk through a few other examples like Music Festival Mastermind as an iconic identity statement, a one of its kind. So in Balaj's case, freedom, you are worthy of your dream life. One of the other items on there was diamond, luxury, possibility, beauty. Let's go through a couple of other examples. And with each part of this, we're going to show what a unique part of a signature style. So we talked about mood board. So in this case, another client, Champion. So this was their mood board. And we'll probably jump right past colors here. And can you share a little bit about what typography? Because picking fonts, people think about picking fonts as like this very functional experience.
Right. So we actually work with people across all different industries, and we'll go in and we'll start to talk to them about fonts. And I think what comes alive is like, well, why would I need to actually pick a specific font? Fonts are fonts. You just need to read it, right? It just needs to be legible, and I just need to be able to read it. And, you know, yes, we want to be able to read your font, but more so, just like what I was talking about with the symbology, right? That everything that we see creates a feeling inside of ourselves, right? Like everything that we look at actually creates a feeling. And so there are different fonts. There's, you know, of course, there's sans serif fonts, and there's serif fonts, and there's script fonts, and there's all these different styles of fonts. But what would you think if I actually told you that there was a specific style of font that fit to the unique characteristic of your soul, to the unique characteristic of who you are? That's an interesting thing to contemplate, right? And so that's something that we also do with inside of Influex, is we find a very unique and specific font. And yes, of course, if you guys are going to want to go out there and look for your unique fonts, you can go to, you know, Google Fonts and you can find a free font. But I'd recommend actually going and paying for a font, buying a license to a font, because guess what? When you create that license for yourself, you're actually individualizing your own font. You're actually becoming more unique in the marketplace, because those fonts aren't actually going to show up very many places, right? A Google font actually shows up a lot of places. And so just to give you guys a little tip, you might want to write this down. I always go to creativemarket.com. Love Creative Market for finding really, really unique and really beautiful fonts. And when you're looking at fonts and when you're looking through fonts to find your very specific and unique font, I'm going to invite you not to try to look through here, this thing called your mind. I'm going to invite you to look through here, this thing called your feelings, right? Look through your feelings, because there will be a resonance, and you're like, that font really looks yummy and awesome. And that's something really to pay attention to.
Who here has unique handwriting? Raise your hand. Who here has the same handwriting as somebody else in the room? Right? humans for thousands, since we've started writing, every human has had slightly different and unique styles of writing. So it's the same with fonts, and it's the same with colors. And so let's bring this into ultimate symbology, and then we'll kind of see first how this shows up on, again, on the website, in this case. One of the whole experience of this brand is unique, but it's the font that really has it uniquely stand out beyond anything else. And we believe every brand can have unique color and font combinations that are firstly a full authentic expression of who you are in your soul, and second, completely distinct because it's an expression of who you are from any other brand that's out there, despite there being so many people in the same industry or going for a similar market. So who here knows or has heard of Jim Quick? Yesterday was Biohacking Day. Awesome. So Jim Quick was such a pleasure to work with. And I'll first show his mood board. So Jim Quick is like Professor X. He's like the superhero to superheroes. And so we created this unique mood board for him that was like a Marvel and X-Men themed and kind of like comic world, while also creating a world where he gets to be this executive, like this speaker to high-level executives. So let's go for the fun part. Creating his logo. So this is a quick example of, we went through a lot of iterations here, but what we knew is we wanted to make him a unique symbol that could be like a superhero icon that he could, that could like sit on the chest of a superhero suit. So we took his initials, took the brain icon, Quick Brain, and came up with this symbol. And this symbol has now permeated its way into every part of his brand. And so just know that as you're going into your own internal brand world, you can do the same, where you can find the unique symbols that represent you and bring them in, whether it's your logo or symbology all throughout your brand. So let's go through a few. I'm going to go through some rapid fire examples. Again, notice what you notice. You don't have to capture all of this. So now we're going to talk about headlines from the heart. And we'll start with an iconic identity statement. So iconic identity statement, in Jim's case, it's what's possible: brighter brain, brilliant life. We mentioned earlier, Abundance Amplifier. And Kevin, where's Kevin in the room? Kevin really helped come up with this, and kudos to Kevin. He's actually helped with a ton of our top clients' headlines, just brilliant messaging master. And so this unique standout, Abundance Amplifier, is the first music festival mastermind that blends biohacking, business, and breakthroughs. So you notice the alliteration in that. You notice the distinct, like there's the one of a kind. It's the first. So this whole thing is alliterated and poetic, and yet it's a really potent headline that stands out and gets shared. Let's look at another iconic identity statement. Yesterday we were at the Genius Recovery fundraiser. So we built Joe Polish's brand. One word: connected. Sometimes one word can embody your essence and express who you are. So for Joe, it's connected. There's a documentary he has called Connected. Genius Network is a connection network. And yet, Joe also has these unique, playful acronyms all throughout his brand. ELF, easy, lucrative, and fun. What's in it for them? So with it. And then yet the business brand, right? It's a statement. It's a belief. The world's greatest entrepreneurs are here. John Benson. This is actually really cool working with Kevin on this, where John Benson is one of the world's greatest copywriters. And so we got to do the messaging and the design for a site, right? Be unignorable, command the world with your words. So this whole concept of be unignorable. Who here knows Matthew Hussey or has seen any of... So with Matthew, Carla, you talk about this being the walking, breathing embodiment of your brand. So his headline here is, get more than just dating advice, fall in love with your life. Now his audience is primarily single women who often will project onto him as, not in a negative way, as, wow, that's the way he shows up in the world. That's kind of an image of this ideal man or partner. And so this invitation, this actually like quadrupled his conversions on a site. Get more than just dating advice, fall in love with your life. Hey, it's Matthew. Let's get your personalized solution. What's your name?
And something to mention about these headlines is that they become part of your iconography, right? You become this icon in the industry. And these words actually, and you know how I feel about them too, is that they hold a certain frequency and they hold a certain feeling, right? And I'll keep coming back to that word feeling. Like every time that we read someone's iconic statement or their statement that is standing out on the head of their website, it's actually sending, you know, immediately speaking to the heart of those that also feel connected with that. Because what I didn't mention about a brand was, you know, back in the day, people really, they decided to go with brands because maybe their parents used that brand, right? Or maybe it's the biggest brand name, right? And so they decide to go with brands because of that. But now because of the World Wide Web and this beautiful internet connection that we have, we actually are really informed buyers, right? We actually have a really amazing ability to be able to go on and look at what brands actually stand for and represent. And not only that, but actually what's really powerful and important now is that the CEO or the founder of that brand actually holds a certain value system that then aligns with the value system of that particular client or that particular audience, right? So we're seeing that more and more and more, especially with like the big CEOs that are kind of put on the big headlines, right? So this is the curiosity here, is how can your statements actually be so representative to who you are? You are fully in alignment. You're a fully embodied expression of what's actually being said on your website. And I say that over trying to find a really, really convertible, like a
really high converting
high
headline.
converting.
What converts is connection.
What converts is connection. What converts is heart, right? What converts is feeling. So what does it look like to start to really bring in that idea of how can I bring an iconic statement that represents who I am and what I stand for, and how can I give that to the world as my first service, right?
So we'll do a couple of other quick examples, and then can we cue up in 1 minute the music, as we'll guide you into a visualization of your own brand world. Lewis Howes, you were born for greatness, right? If you think this just works in the transformational industry, oldest industry, law. You don't think it's from the heart, but it is. We go to war for your family. So when you see that, like, wow, I trust them to go to war for me. Another law example, when you stand up for yourself, we stand with you. And the final example I want to share is, first, when I say light 1,000 suns, who light another 1,000 suns, who do you think of? Yannick. So we built Yannick's site many years ago, and it's such an expression of his brand still as it's an expression of his journal. And the top headline is this quote, "Your greatest work never feels like work." And the blog is literally his journal here. And then the invitation on the Maverick site, one Maverick entrepreneur can transform an industry. 1,000 together can transform the world. Are you one of them? So are you a sun that will light another 1,000 suns? Finally, as we go into vision, know your brand also impacts how you show up in your vision and how your vision expresses itself in the world. So if you guys haven't seen the vision-driven Vivid Vision, definitely check it out as it brings you into that world. So if you're gonna get a Vivid Vision written, get it designed with your brand in a way that brings you and your team and the marketplace into that future reality. And with that, let's bring you deeper into your own.
Yeah, because something to speak into that you've seen here is that every single website that we design, it's incredibly unique, right? We're not using specific templates. We're using your soul's essence, your expression to actually build something that really certainly represents you. And so let's go on a little bit of a journey to find your inner unique essence and how you desire to be fully seen as the brand that you are. So I'm going to invite us, each and every one of us, you're welcome to put your journals down in this moment. You'll have a moment to go back in and find yourself in a comfortable and relaxed seated or laying position, whatever you choose for yourself here now. We'll go ahead and cue the music. And in this moment, you're welcome to close your eyes. With your eyes closed right here, right now, I want you to invite yourself into all of that attention and all of that awareness of yours, focused inward on your own breath. So that beautiful inhale and that beautiful exhale, allowing it to sweetly be invited into your body. And this body, this embodiment of yours, this is where it all starts. And so with a centered focus, the centered point of attention, I'm going to invite you to either visualize or feel as if you are standing on a stage. And it's a feeling of comfort, it's a feeling of ease. You're not intimidated or nervous because all of the people that you love are there standing with you. And you have decided to curate and create a beautiful experience for all of those that you love, for all of those that are close to you and that love you so deeply. This experience you have created, you've created it because you know that this day is the end day of your life. That this is your last day on this planet. But you go out with a bang. And so you have chosen to create this beautiful experience, this event, this party to celebrate your life. And I want you to look around this room that you have created, and I want you to see, how have you designed this room on this last day of your life to celebrate your life? What are the colors? What are the smells, the textures, the lighting? What does it look like in this space that you have chosen to host all of the people that you love? And I want you to feel the energy of that space, not from a space of sadness, it's a celebration of your life, but from a space of, this is what I wish to give. And I want you to feel into this one moment here now. And feel into you standing on this stage, and if there's one thing that you desire to speak to your friends and family, to those that love you, the one thing that you know will make the greatest impact for them in the days that you are not there, what would you say to them? What would be your message to them and to the world that would give the fullness of the impact that you are here to create? And just listen, listen, listen here now. Listen to the message that you would gift to the world to design your greatest signature soul impact. Now breathe, breathe, breathe into that. Breathe into your message. Breathe into your colors. Breathe into what it is that you would gift to the world. What is the unique fingerprint that you will leave behind? What is the unique footprint in the sands of time? And let us here now take one more really full, deep breath in, the deepest you've taken maybe even all day. Take that inhale and exhaling when you're ready. And two more just like that to finalize and close this experience just at your own pace. The deepest breath in and the deepest breath out.
You never know the last breath you will take. So face death every day, because in the face of death, everything falls away, leaving only what is truly important to you. Your music, your story, your truth, your beauty, your soul, what you do as unity forms within you and your music is pouring from you till every last bit of your fuel and your courage is used. And even when you're suffering, there's a reason you've been suffering through this, because it's something that moves you to remember the truth that you've got nothing to lose and nothing to prove. So just do what you love and love what you do and have fun at it too. Trust in your music. Fuck your excuses. Stay hungry. Stay foolish.
And so it is. Beautiful ones, you're welcome to open your eyes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Check, check. There we go. So good. We'll take one abundance upgrade from that as you're coming back, if there's anything that is landing for you. Gary. If you're still in your experience, enjoy it.
I just want to say that normally it's very hard for me to actually get a message. Doing the whole end of life thing brought me back to an experience when I was going through boot camp where I thought I was going to die, and that allowed me to attach to that. And literally the thing that that was the most important to me, which wasn't what I expected, it was the only thing. And I just want to thank you for that experience. It's a very powerful tool. I will be using that every freaking day from now on. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Appreciate you.
Beautiful. Give it up for them one more time, Dima and Carla.